When will No Game, No Life Season 2 come out? Will it ever come out at all? Author of the light novel, 𝐒𝐀𝐄𝐄, responded to those questions in March of 2023, saying,
I want to know more than anyone. Ooh.
So even in 2023, 9 years after its initial release, the author still doesn't know if or when his series will get to season 2. It's gotten to the point where it's become a meme to comment about No Game, No Life anytime an old or bad show gets a new season. So what's really going on here? Like I said, No Game, No Life is a 9-year-old anime, which in internet time is like 153.2 years old. Something like that. Ew. Ugh, so old. Ugh, so outdated. But back when it came out, No Game, No Life was anything but. 2014. Back when isekai was cool. When people actually respected the awesomeness of Sword Art Online. Kinda. Back when it was completely normal for two cousins or two non-blood related siblings to sex and get married. Okay, maybe it wasn't actually normal. But back then, No Game, No Life was the fucking shit. It still is. No Game, No Life is about Sora, a charismatic god gamer NEET, because those exist, and Shiro, an 11-year-old genius pair of panties. An 11-year-old genius. Who's also a NEET. She's Sora's Imoto Oni-chan sister.
They aren't related by blood.
What?
I just thought you might want to know.
They don't do good in the real world, but they do good at games. So Tito, the gamer god of gamers, is all like,
Yo, sup bitches? How about you ditch this rinky dink and come to my Zal worldo?
what? Panties.
Here in my world, everything is decided by gambling on games. War, death, the round.
Where are we?
Nichan, I think I have a concussion. Hated by the 10 covenants. Covenant 1.
Okay, before this video gets too far off the rails, yes, they get isekai'd to a world where the laws, known as the 10 Covenants, dictates that everything, including wars, is decided by Gamba. It's kinda like Genshin Impact.
Give us your fucking money.
Except you Gamba to decide wars instead of Gamba for waifus. Except you actually can Gamba for waifus. Be my gamer GF.
What? No, why would I?
Sente!
Huh? A what now?
Are you ready? John Ken Po! Ha! I have wanted this extremely convoluted BS mind game of John Ken Po.
What?
Love me!
Anything for you, my darling. No, Jesus Christ, Steph, get a fucking grip.
Goodbye, virginity.
Congratulations, Nichan. Can I watch?
Of course, my non-blood related preteen sister. Covenant 6. Any bets made in accordance with the pledges must be upheld. If a bet in this world says that the loser must fall in love with the winner, then it will be made so. There's even a point in the story where Sora is gambling in a deadly game with Valkyrie, and they somehow end up working together within the game to remove all the nipplies and fagoos from existence, so that later, of course, they can delete all female clothes and show it on television. Great. Oh, and in the same episode, they also materialize a nuke and try to throw each other into the Earth's core. It's pretty nutty. Maybe even a little silly. No Game, No Life is badass. Perverted. It's mesmerizingly beautiful with gorgeous art. Perverted. It's smart and funny, keeping you on your toes, but also the mood light. Perverted. It's chock full of references. A self-aware power fantasy that just hits all the right notes. And it's perverted. Yeah, definitely perverted. There's a lot of shit that sets No Game, No Life apart, but none so the more than art. Art. It manages to be so bright and colorful that it's almost trippy, yet not overwhelming. The animation, i.e. the movement between frames, is good, even really good in some spots, but it's nothing too crazy. It's the art style. Yo, check it out, it's fucking Picasso. It's the art style, or the designs within the individual frames. That is where No Game, No Life shines visually. And unfortunately, the art is where the troubles for Season 2 begin.
Plagiarism!
Yo, Nugget, wanna play some poker?
Okay, 1, rude. 2, sure. You bet your panties and I'll bet my life.
Why would you?
If you win, you could kill me.
Oscar.
Royal flush.
What? No, there's no way. You had to have cheated, just like plagiarism. Plagiarism is cheating.
I didn't cheat. not me. Incidentally, that joke was heavily inspired by Giga, and this animation is his. That joke could be considered plagiarism. I used completely different words, of course, but where exactly do we draw the line? No Game No Life author Kamiya has been accused of tracing other artists' poses. And while there is plenty of evidence suggesting inspiration, it's unclear whether or not there was actually any tracing going on. And even if there was, Kamiya's pictures are still uniquely his, made with his personal style. And if you didn't know this, every artist ever copies other artists, making others' techniques their own. It's how we improve. So where exactly do we draw the line? No lawsuits, though. And the No Game No Life movie still came out a year later. Yet another plagiarism claim came in May of 2014. This time, though, with the anime. So much better. They used an indie artist's magic circle without their consent. Which isn't much of a surprise, since the Japanese aren't exactly known for valuing consent. The artist was apologized to, and practically forced to take compensation. They actually just seemed happy and content with the apology alone. Oh, and the movie came out 3 years later. Again, no lawsuits. In other words, nothing was ever canceled due to the plagiarism scandals. Both situations were resolved peacefully, and projects moved forward. The theory that Season 2 was canceled because of plagiarism is nothing more than the result of fans grasping at straws, looking for a reason for the lack of a Season 2. Again, no lawsuits. But you might catch a case for the gratuitous view of Shiro's Vagu. She's 11. She looks 11, and here's my hot take. I don't care. Except for when I try to show this anime to my non-weeb cousin, and the first time that you see Shiro, she's flashing her front butt right in your face. That was a bit much. But aside from that, whatever, man, I don't care. I just ignore it. I respect creators' rights to do whatever they want within their fictional worlds, with their fictional characters. And you can do one of two things about lolly looting. You can either A, morally grandstand, or B, you can ignore it. Technically, I'm doing both. And no, this is not an admission that I am okay with things like human trafficking, because I'm not. Unless it's after. No Game No Life is an ecchi through and through. It's labeled as one, and it's clear from the start that fan service and ecchi jokes are part of the shtick. Yet somehow people still watch it to this day, and then complain about the fan service.
Would you order a pepperoni pizza and then complain that the pizza is really good, but that it would be better without all the unnecessary pepperoni? No, you wouldn't, because that'd be fucking stupid. You ordered the pepperoni.
That's a good point. You've got a good point.
Although I personally, obviously, love the occasional fan service anime, No Game No Life came out when fan service was in. Kill la Kill, High School of the Dead, Prison School, Shokugeki no Soma. We just don't get good ecchi like this anymore. Instead, we get actual hentai disguised as anime. So much better, I know. Within the past 5 years, the only notable ecchi has been Mushoku Tensei, which comparatively doesn't even have that much fan service. And it even paints the fan service that it does have in a negative light. The times have changed, and now we're getting closer to the real reason why No Game No Life Season 2 hasn't been announced. Maybe there's just not a market for it anymore. So is money the problem? Not even close. The 2014 Season 1 into the 2017 movie were both pretty profitable. Kamiya even tweeted back in 2023 that
it's not a money problem.
Maybe Studio Madhouse can't get the staff that they need. Well, with the exception of one of No Game No Life's original directors moving to MAPPA, the vast majority of the staff involved in Season 1 is still available, either remaining at Madhouse or as a freelancer, many of them being freelancers to begin with. And based on all of the little projects that you could see that the freelancers have been working on, I don't think that it would be too difficult to bring them, let alone some fresh blood, in for Season 2 of one of the most popular anime of all time. So staff is not likely an issue. One last myth to bust before we reach the truth. The author's health issues caused a lack of source material. Unfortunately, there is actually some truth to that. Yu Marima was diagnosed with stomach cancer in 2011, a year before No Game No Life even started. And yes, it is awful, but Marima's health didn't actually delay his work on this particular series until like 2016, when 9 volumes of No Game No Life were already out. Season 1 covers volumes 1 to 3, and the movie covers volume 6 as backstory. It's actually pretty pretty interesting if you haven't seen it already. I would recommend it. But volumes 4, 5, 7, 8, and 9 were all still available before the movie even released. So there was more material for a season 2 than what had already been used. And as of February 2023, and as of February 2023, volume 12 is out, and the story is about to completely wrap up. So there is plenty of source material, and apparently plenty of money to be made as well. So what gives? The last rule of No Game No Life's world is, let's all have fun and play together. Just like my favorite anime, Gintama, No Game No Life tells you not to take life too seriously, but instead to have fun. It's in the title, man. No game, there's no games and no life. And in a world where literally everything is decided by games, how could you not have fun? In fact, season 1 was so fun and such a good time that No Game No Life has millions of die-hard fans worldwide to this day. But apparently that's just the problem.
The fact that it was too good is a barrier to the realization of the second season.
Quote Marima in 2023.
But the director said, I don't know what to do next.
In other words, the production team is fucking lost. They don't have the confidence to take the source material that's available and turn it into something worthy of the first season. And can you really blame them? I mean, yeah, that was a joke. That was a joke. Let's be nice now, okay? Because of the popularity of the original, they view season 2 of No Game No Life as a risk. And the pressure to follow up something so popular is immense, especially after all this time. But the light novel is about to conclude. The light novel's about to conclude. Everything needed for a second season is there, and clearly, people still want it. All No Game No Life Season 2 needs is for somebody to step up and take it on.
ゲームを始めよう。
We jump.